Hello, my name is Robert Schmidt, also known as Mr.IoT. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to our Polish guest today. I am the Chief IoT Technologist for Deloitte with a deep passion for all things digital. And this week on Coffee with Mr.IoT, Heather Rangel and I are talking with JOANNA from Poland. JOANNA, I gotta make sure I say your last name right. Skorupska, did I say that right, JOANNA?
Right, Skorupska.
Welcome to Coffee with Mr.IoT. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, you're welcome. You know, it's a really, I think it's a fun story how we came about to actually be here. You posted on our internal social network, Workplace, a really interesting article of something you have done in Poland around IoT, around doing good to the world with air sensors, clean area, and so forth. Tell us a little bit about it. How this came about? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I just love to hear about it. It's a really great story, and I love how we got connected through our internal social networks. It's just a great story of today. So.
Okay, so I'm working in Deloitte as UX designer, but I rather call myself a maker because you're familiar with the maker movement. It's the next generation of do-it-yourself and inventing stuff. And what we are doing, we are building a network of low-cost IoT air quality sensors, and for public and open source use. And it will be accompanied by a website that will collecting data from all sensors and displaying them in real-time information about air pollution in Warsaw. Because we found a huge problem, because air pollution in Warsaw exceed adopted standards, and there were no enough measuring station in Warsaw, and that's why we're trying to figure out something to give the accurate data about the air pollution, about the air. Yeah, that's basically what we are working on right now.
So as a maker, you find yourself looking around for problems to solve, and this is one that you landed on. Did this come from some place in you of kind of environmentalism, or you know, what kind of landed you on that problem to tackle?
I believe that Maker movement give me like potential to change the world in some interesting ways. That it's being more sustainable and thriving, and it's also this because it's in a Maker movement. It's all about that the whole technology is more accessible for people, and it's more viable, and it's much easier to answer those problems that we found, right? So that's all about.
You say maker movement a lot. Actually, you started out by saying I call myself a maker. What does that mean? You seem to really identify with that. How does that go? What does that mean? Is this sort of like a modern word for I'm an inventor, or is this different? Just talk a little bit about it. We haven't talked much about it on the show, and I'd love to hear more about this. What that means to you.
Okay. What is it for me? If I consider myself as a maker, I'm coding, I'm soldering, I'm drilling, I'm doing a lot of stuff by myself, and that's all skills that I'm combined that give me an opportunity to create digital products that were previously unimaginable, right? So it's about breaking the rules, it's about disrupting all the way, and it's about reaching out for new horizons, right? So it's all about the maker. It's about doing stuff by yourself, right? And it's like the next generation of do-it-yourself, because also combine the technology, right? So the opportunities are endless, right? So if you have like a solder and you know how to code, you can do anything you can imagine, right? So that's what I love about the maker movement.
I love this idea. I've actually spent some time sort of immersing myself in the maker movement. Been doing, we do some research on the movement, as you've probably seen from the Center for the Edge, and spent some time with my colleague there at the center going around and kind of diving into maker cities in the US. the kind of Rust Belt cities, Pittsburgh, St. Louis. And I love the idea of the kind of the maker movement kind of driving the rebirth of some cities. And there's always this factor of the cities that are most kind of involved have this like element of grit and resiliency to them. And I never made the connection, which with like Central Eastern Europe is a place one of my favorite regions in the world, and always leave with the sense of resiliency and strength and power to do it yourself when I'm there. So that's an awesome connection. I didn't realize the maker movement connection with your sort of cultural elements. Do you feel a sense of that as well?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else can say. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
So what are you going to do with the data you're collecting with your IoT sensors? Have you done anything with it yet?
No, because we are at the early stage of this project. We are just collecting the data, and we have we want to use it for a trend and forecast, and check if there is like maybe use it for a predictive analysis, and that's what we want to do with this whole data, right? But basically, our idea is give the data to the citizens of the city, right? Because the problem is that there is not enough measuring station in Warsaw. There's only 7, because I'm talking about the measuring station of the air pollution, right? And we want to give it to the people, right? Giving them this data in the real time, and give them opportunity to, they change what they want to do outside, change the activity, because this air pollution is really affecting their lives. So this is what we are wanting to do. This is really social project. So that's all about.
I have to say, I gotta come back to Heather, you talking about how you're fascinated by the Maker movement. I can't wait to see your blog, Heather, what you're gonna do with the Maker movement. I know you just redid some part of your house. I'm curious how Maker movement house is, how Maker moved your house is. But in any case, Joanna, a question for you. Can we see what you guys have done? If I go online, is there a web place where I can see what you've done? How far along are you? How many sensors have you put out there? Tell us a little bit about the tech journey for the geek in me and the people who watch. Tell us a little bit about the geeky side of things. You talked about programming. Tell us a little bit about that.
We have, first we started, maybe I will tell how it all started, right? Because I live in a city center, and I was cleaning my window, and they were really dirty. And I have to do it again like every 2 weeks, and I was like, whoa, is it like this whole dust going into I'm breathing with it? And it was like, oh, I have to like check it and see what's going on, right? And then we developed like really first prototype. It was really cheap sensor. It's like connected with Arduino, and you can buy it online. It's like, I don't even it cost $5 or something like that. It's really cheap and really accessible. And then we're trying to collect this data and put this online. So we have to develop like a whole new processor, connected Arduino to the internet. And then our like this first proper prototype is based on a microcontroller and with air quality sensor, and we measure 2 types of dust. Dust is PM1 and PM2.5. And when this device is connected to the internet, and it's sending the data in real time to the website, to the server, the backend. And right now we are at the stage we're developing a website, and we have like 30 sensors in a whole Warsaw, and we have this data is showing on the map in the real time and in every district, because this also there's a problem with this measuring station in Warsaw, that this whole 7 station give data for a whole city, not for a direct districts, right? So the data is really it's not accurate, right? And what else I can say about the technical aspect? Website is going to be developed like by the end of the May. We have really huge help from Deloitte because they support us as it fit into their CSR strategy. So they give us some money for that.
CSR?
For that.
CSR, what does that mean?
CSR is corporate social responsibility, and they have like a huge program for projects like that. So they gave us really huge support. And what else? What else? Ask me.
So yeah, tell me, what's more important to you, getting the data about air quality in the hands of the people, or showing people that you can take any problem you want and solve it yourself now with the accessibility of technology?
That's a really hard question. I think both.
Welcome to Heather.
Because you know, by developing projects like that, you're showing people, you encourage them to doing stuff like that. To, you know, we are showing them that technology is not, you know, it's for everybody, right? You can do it yourself, very simple sensor and put it on the window and measure the air pollution, right? But on the other hand, data is really important because people still don't know what to do with this data, right? So the city collect the data all the time from about air pollution, right? But they don't do anything with that. So it's really important to have this whole strategy about what to do with whole collected data. Yeah.
If you're just joining us, I'm Robert Schmidt, the Chief IoT Technologist for Deloitte, and you're watching Coffee with Mr.IoT. Today, Heather Rangel and I are talking with JOANNA from Warsaw, Russia. Poland. Holy smoke, that was bad. I'm sorry for that. Being Austrian, I should actually know that. So that's really funny. Now I'm going to hear that for the rest of my Coffee with Mr.IoT career. JOANNA, I want to ask you, you made a comment before, the Maker movement is all about breaking the rules. I love that. We listened to, we had a talk by the CTO of Tesla, and he talked about that. So sort of like a big part of their success was they broke the rules when they started out. I gotta ask you, how much of the rules do you break at Deloitte? And you know, it's an interesting question because I think we have the same thing at Deloitte. We want innovation, so what rules do we break? And then maybe tell us a little bit about your education, your career. How do you get here? We so often have people that have been around the industry for a long time and they have a long career, and then we have people like you who are just enthusiastic and new and do some super interesting stuff. So tell us a little bit about that. I'd love to hear that. So what rules are you breaking, and your career and education? I'd love to hear about that.
Okay, I'm really a technical person, and what is really funny because I graduated philosophy. So I have a huge background in interactive agency. I worked before in a DDB and Saatchi, but I really came into technology, and that was always something that really was really interesting for me, and I was looking for a place and then projects that I could use my skills. So I don't know, I always breaking the rules. I mean, I also developing for Deloitte digital for social channels like short tutorials about the Maker movement. Maybe you're familiar with. We are showing how to develop in a very simple way, really simple devices. Lately, I've been building a laser harp that you're able to play the music on lasers, and we had like also this sensor and relay device that it was the most twisted way to feed the fish, right? There was a fan, and then when you put the hand into it, you just put the power on, And we are working on the next episodes. I'm gonna develop interactive flower that's gonna tell you when it's gonna be when it's thirsty and then it need water, and or is it too dark for the flower, so it's the place where it is put has to be changed. I also working on the interactive installation, art installation, lights, interactive. So I think it's all, you know, this, because this whole technology, it's so easy to reach and it's so easy to develop all this stuff. It's, you know, it's about also about the creativity and put all of those stuff together. So that's how I'm breaking the rules, I guess.
So possible. I just love your passion, I have to tell you.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, have you ever been to the Maker Faire in San Francisco?
No, never.
That must be the biggest one in the world, I would guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm in my little bubble when I say that.
The whole maker movement is really huge also here in Europe. We have like in Amsterdam and here in Warsaw, there's like a lot of meeting of makers, right? We are talking about the 3D printing, about the electronic stuff, and, you know, we just sharing the experience and then trying to do this whole crazy stuff together, right? So, yeah.
So as a young person, I mean you, not me, just to be clear. You know, a lot of times we hear with all these things getting connected, privacy and cyber experts will start to push back and talk about the risk of the connected data, and the kind of rule of thumb that you hear out there is if you don't have to connect something, don't. Because otherwise you're putting too much information about you know, that could be kind of used for nefarious purposes out there. So what do you think about that as a young rule breaker, maker, connected enthusiast?
I don't.
That kind of answers the question.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Are you thinking about it?
Not really. I mean, no. Can we go to the next question?
So, we talked, tell me how the Maker movement influences what you do for Deloitte. I'm really curious. We talked about a lot of really cool things. I hope you can share with us at some point in time the data that you do produce in Warsaw, and we can post it to the people down below here when you're done with the thing. But tell me what you do, how the Maker movement, how all the digital stuff influences what you do for Deloitte at work. Because I gotta believe there's a huge connection, and I'd love to hear about that.
You know, I'm like the biggest advantage for me as a maker that I'm able to develop prototypes like really fast in a few days, right? And that's
fast? Just tell me what fast means to you.
What? Sorry again, because I.
What does fast developing mean to you? Are we talking hours, days, weeks, months?
Like 2 days is like, you know, one day you have like I have even like forced for a whole process for that. I mean, you have like we have a problem, then we find the solution, then you are looking for a right technology for that, and then you know, collecting the whole stuff that you need for that and developing like a first prototype. It's very ugly, and you know, but it's like it's just MVP, right? And yeah, but it works, right? And it shows how if we're gonna like have more time and develop it even more, it's like gonna just show you the possibilities how it could look at the end, right? So it's really important that you have something in your hand and you go to the client and show, see what we did. We did develop it in a few days, and we are able to do something much bigger. And if you give us more time, so that's biggest advantage that I am able to, you know, develop the prototypes really quickly.
So in your community that you kind of hang out with, not just at Deloitte, but just sort of in your life in this space, How's the gender balance over there in Warsaw? They're just
that's really, to be honest, this is my mission, to show the girls, the women, that we are able, you know, to do this whole stuff, right? And it's really, I not even say this difficult, but it's really my mission to show the girls that you embrace them to do stuff like that, right? And sometimes if I go for the meetings for I don't know, I'm trying to do something, I'm only one woman in the room, and it's really, you know, it's hard at one hand, but you know, it's like I'm seeing the gap that I want to fill, and want to encourage other women to do stuff like that, and show them that, you know, it's not hard for you. It's really accessible to do stuff like that. And it's really make me crazy when I'm drilling or soldering on coding, and someone asking, "Do you don't have any man who could do that for you?" And I was like, "Come on, like, is that because I am a woman, I'm not able to do stuff like that?" It's like, you know. So it's this gender balance is really, that's a huge problem, to be honest. But I'm fighting with that.
Good job.
That's my mission. Yeah.
What can I do, me, Robert Schmidt, to help you on that endeavor? Give me some ideas. I mean, I have some, but I want to hear from you. What do you think? What can I do? I listened to Heather talk at her big talk last week, women in tech. I want to hear from you, and I'm curious. You're laughing, Heather, because I said big talk rather than small talk last week. I always put my foot in my mouth one time a show, and I already managed it to do today, so I didn't want to do it twice. So tell me, Joanna, what can I do? And I'm curious to hear from a European perspective if this is any different. Being originally Austrian, it's very interesting to me. I feel I have a different perspective from both continents, but I want to hear from you. What can I do to help you?
Oh, what can you do? You can embrace the woman, first of all. You could show them that, you know, this, like, there's no skills that, you know, they are like just fit for a male or female, that we are all, you know, we are all the same, and we could do all the stuff, and we have like the same power in our hands. So that, like, what you could do. What else? I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's a really big question, to be honest, and it's really a huge problem also. So just embrace us, right? So give us, show us that we are able to do, and we are able to do what you are doing, what men are doing, in the same way, and we have the same skills, and that's all, I guess.
You know what would be really cool? I often, one of the struggles I face is, like, I walk into a room full of all men, like you mentioned, time and time and time again, and I'm like, how does nobody else see that there's like all men here and no women? Like, who didn't think about this? So I always think, like, Robert, like, could you just put on some glasses and see the world through our eyes when you walk into different situations? It'd be really cool as augmented reality kind of comes to, like, total immersion. If we could, like, click the switch of, like, the feminist switch and see the world through the lens of a woman for 5 minutes a day, that would be pretty cool, like, changing perspective.
We're coming to the end of the show, but I don't know if you've seen, there is a switch where you can actually switch your Twitter feed. So they did this because they said we lived in a bubble for the election in the US, right? And they said, what would your feed look like if you'd had friends that are from the other side that you typically post? And so it was very interesting to see the feed. So basically what you're saying is have a Twitter feed that would switch if I'd have more female friends than male, or something like this. It'd be interesting. So anyhow, we're coming to the end. I'm curious to see, is there any closing comments, Joanna, Heather, before we close it out? And in the whole theme of giving more presence to women, Heather, you want to close it out after this?
I just want to invite you because I was talking about those tutorials I developed for Deloitte Digital, and we're gonna have like this month we're gonna have like two of them about this interactive flower and about this reactive light installation. So keep eye on Deloitte Digital social channels and then check what Maker can do and how Maker is breaking the rules and just. That's all what I could sum up.
We definitely will.
Also give you share with you this whole website about this air quality with this whole map, and gonna show you how it works, and share with you any others posts from our medium about the update from our project.
Great, thank you. Do it that, and we'll put it on the comments on the YouTube channel too, so anyone watching can get to it. Definitely look forward to meeting you in person one day soon. I do get over there, so I will let you know next time and invite you to the Maker Faire here in San Francisco whenever you can make it. Thank you so much for joining today. Thanks so much for being a woman in tech and a maker and a creative rule breaker. We enjoyed our time with you today, and stay tuned and watch our Coffee with Mr. IoT shows in the future, because I think you'll see one on the maker movement coming up that you'll like.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. See you back next week, Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Talk to you later.
Bye.